All right, everyone. We're back at it. We're back sooner than we thought. I honestly thought that it was going to be a once in a month thing, but this was sitting heavy on my heart. There's a lot of things going on in this world, and I feel like we as a people are ignoring them because we don't think that it directly affects us. And I believe, quite the contrary, that everything that's going on in the world right now is affecting us directly. And we'll get into that later. But the topic of today on Triggering Truths is the revelation or revolution. Which one are we in? Which one are we going to be in? Because I feel like maybe we have a choice. All right, but today I want to open up for the first time in a scripture. Deuteronomy 29 speaks to me loud and clear because it feels like a revelation and both a prophecy. Right? So we're going to open up with verse 29, scripture 29, Deuteronomy 29:9. And this, to me, we're going to open up and we're going to use our minds and we're going to use our brains. And to me, this is Moses talking to his people, but this is also Jesus talking to his people, Malcolm X talking to his people, me talking to you, Minister Louis Farrakhan talking to his people, etc., etc. So, let's dive in. Ye are standing this day, all of you, before the Lord, your God, your heads, your tribes, your elders, and your officers, even all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, thy stranger that is in the midst of thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water, that thou shouldest enter the covenant of thy Lord, and into his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day. That he may establish thee this day unto himself for a people, and that he may be unto thee a God, as he spoke unto thee, and as he swore unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Right? Now he's speaking to you today as he spoke to Isaac and Jacob and Abraham. Let's be clear. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God, and also with him that is not here with us today. For ye know how we dwelt in the land of Egypt, and how we came through the midst of the nations through which ye passed. And ye have seen their detestable things, and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were with them. Right? Again, and ye have seen their detestable things, and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were with them. Right? There is a people today, silver and gold. They want you to worship things that are not of your nature. Right? They want you to worship them. The big five, the presidential five, I think that's something that needs to be addressed here. Why are you on a mountain? Nobody cares about you. What have you done for you to be on a mountain? And then people say, which one's your favorite? None of them. None of them are my favorite. Not Abraham Lincoln, and not the rest of them. They have led you astray. Lest there shall be among you man or woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord our God to serve the gods of those nations. Lest there be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood, and it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the stubbornness of my heart. Right? We're going to stop right there. I'm speaking to you, right? And if you say, I don't really want to hear that, I don't care. I don't want to hear that. I'm tired of hearing that. Like, what am I going to do about it? I don't want to hear about it. This is for you. Lest should be among you man or woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord our God to go serve the gods of those nations, I'm going to go ahead and listen to Massa. Because right now, I'm alive. I've been alive for 30 years. And Massa ain't done nothing to me. So I'm going to just go ahead and be cool with what Massa's saying. Lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood, and it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walked in the stubbornness of my heart. This is for the people who say, I know that there's a God, and I know that I'm not living right, but Massa, I can't shake him. I can't shake him. So I'm going to just go ahead and just say, submit. I submit to Massa. Right? This is for all people. I want y'all to know this too. This ain't just for my people, even though I'm using the Massa. Right? This is for all the people, because a lot of the people, most of the people, all of the people are under the wicked spell. Right? That the watered be swept away with the dry. The Lord will not be willing to pardon him. But then the anger of the Lord and his jealousy shall be kindled against that man, and all the curse that is written in this book shall lie upon him, and the Lord shall blot out his name from under the heaven. So you know you're doing wrong. You know that you're supposed to be walking with the Most High, the most magnificent, and you say, I can't shake it. So I'm going to just submit. But God is saying, no, walk with me. Right? And then you're saying, well, he's a forgiving God. He forgives all. He's letting you know here. The Lord will not be willing to pardon him. But then the anger of the Lord and his jealousy shall be kindled against that man, and all the curse that is written in this book shall lie upon him. And the Lord shall blot out his name from under the heaven, and the Lord shall separate him unto evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all curses of the covenant that is written in this book of the law. In the generation to come, your children that shall rise up after you, and the foreigner that shall come from a far land shall say, when they see the plagues of that land and the sicknesses wherewith the Lord hath made it sick, and the whole land thereof is brimstone and salt and burning, that is not sown, nor beareth, nor any grass groweth therein, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, Adam and Zeboim, and the Lord overthrew in his anger and in his wrath. Even all the nations shall say, where hath the Lord done unto this land? So this is the people now, after God said, oh, you don't want to worship me? Well, I'm going to put curses upon your land. And when I put curses upon your land, you're going to say, because this is what you guys believe, the Lord forgives everybody. Why would he do this to us? There can't be a God. God would never do such a thing. God is telling you right now, he will overthrow you like Sodom and Gomorrah, the non-believers, Admah and Zeboim, the non-believers. So, what meaneth the heat of this great anger? Why is he so mad? Then the men shall say, because they forsook the covenant of the Lord, the God of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. I told you, I got you. But you choose not to believe that I got you. And I'm going to go back to Deuteronomy 1st chapter in just a second before we get into this today, right? Because this is our intro, right? I brought you up out of the land of Egypt. So I brought you away from the oppressor once. And I have the power to do it again. But you don't believe me. See, that was past tense. But now I'm giving you present tense. That I've done this before and I'll do it again for my people. But my people have to follow me. Right now my people are not following me. They're following my enemy. Right? Then men shall say, because they forsook the covenant of the Lord, the God of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, and went and served other gods and worshipped them, gods that they knew not, and that he had not allotted unto them. Therefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curse that is written in this book. And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger. Kendrick was talking about this. I said this the last time. And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this day. Who has been brought from their land and cast it into another land? All over the world, though. Black people are all over the world. But the black people here in this country have suffered something very significantly different. Right? When we talk about millions of our people killed, murdered, sterilized, which we'll get into. The secret things belong unto the Lord our God, but the things that are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. So, I just gave you a revelation and a prophecy. The prophecy was 9 through 17, what you should be doing, and what will happen to you if you do not. Right? Then the revelation of what has happened when you did not choose to follow God, and what further may happen if you continue to not follow God. All the curses of this book, it says. And if you go back and look at the curses of this book, I can guarantee you are scared of a entity. I mean, it's spookism. Who are these people? You don't even know where these people came from. You think these people are of God? How? You think these people are of Jesus Christ because that's your favorite prophet to use? How? How? Name one ruler in this land, the Americas, that you say that's of God. You can't name one, but you're scared of them. Deuteronomy 1:17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment. Ye shall hear the small and the great alike. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of any man, for the judgment is God's. And the cause that is too hard for you, ye shall bring it to me. So whatever you got going on, bring it to me. I got you. If you got me, is what God is saying. And I will hear. And I commanded you at that time all the things which ye should do. I'm telling you what you should do to get right, so that you can be right. And you don't have to worry about so much going on in the world. Because it is, which we're going to get into. What brings me here today is as I'm scrolling on Instagram, and I want to bring up this gentleman's page. And I'm scrolling, And I'm actually getting to this man's page because I have a friend that is from Jordan, and she posted it on her page, and me and her have had a conversation when I learned about what was going on in Israel, right? See, what happened is I was on Instagram and I seen, they posted that there was a attack, right? So I'm like, all right. So I see like somebody post in support of Israel. I'm like, okay. Let me go look at the comments. That's usually one of the first things that I do. I don't know why. It's become a habit because I used to be on the blogs all the time. Let me see what the people are saying. Then I realized that as I look at the comments and I compare them from years ago, the people are getting a little bit more slow, a little bit more brainwashed, a little bit more programmed. I can tell by the comments, right? So I'm in these comments of support Israel, and I see free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. What are you guys talking about, right? So I'm like, I don't really see support of Israel. So what's going on in Israel? All right. So one thing comes to another. I start digging into the research and seeing that Israel has been oppressing the people, the Palestinian people, right? Taking over their territory with help of, lo and behold, UK, the UN, and the United States of America, right? So, I say, anytime I see a particular people teaming up against people of like Mongoloid, I would call Palestinians Mongoloid descent, right? The race Mongoloid, I would call Palestinians that. And when I see people who have oppressed people seem like they're in a bullying position against another people, and now I see that their allies are all oppressors, I say, something's not right here. That's just that should be common sense for everybody, I would think, because we're black. If we're not, like, if we were maybe a different ethnicity or race, I would say it would be nothing to think that what's going on is we should be in support of Israel. But because we're black, we need to start doing research before we start posting. Because then I see people talk about Jesus, relating Jesus to Israel. And if you think that Israel today is of the Israel of yesterday, you are sadly mistaken. Stop playing with God like that. That is not Israel. The Israel that you think that it is. One, we can talk about the 12 tribes of Israel. Is that what you're thinking is going on here? The 12 tribes of Israel, which once was Jacob. See, Jacob's name was turned into Israel after a fight with God. And God called him Israel. And the descendants of Jacob, aka Israel, were called the 12 tribes of Israel. I don't know if that's why you guys are like Israel and holy and Jesus and Jerusalem or whatever the case may be. But I don't want to have to keep reading this scripture, but I think I'm supposed to be reading it one more time. One more time I will read it. Revelation 3:9 and 2:9. I think we'll just go with 3:9 today. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and know that I have loved thee. So, the people that will lead you astray, right? You have to wonder why all these celebrities are like, hey, pom-poms for a certain particular people, even though when you look on social media, the only people that you see being killed are Palestinians. and their kids. Right? But you guys think that they're Jews. I mean, Israel. People from Israel. Right? Which are those people, but I don't really want to keep saying their names. Because if you say their names, oh no. If you say their names, you are canceled. Dave Chappelle, the nerve. Kanye West. I want to say Dave Chappelle started it, but it might have been Kanye West. Then here goes Kyrie Irving. Not one, not two, but three black men under the microscope doing God's work. I would say that is God's work that those men are doing. And I don't give a damn how crazy you call him. Kanye West, he's crazy. If Kanye West if something's wrong with him, like he said, it's because they use pharmaceutical against him. I believe that. You should believe that. Because why are you taking pharmaceuticals? When? Our people, good book right here, Medical Apartheid. Our people practice holistics. However, whites had no monopoly on science. The African tradition involved physiological as well as spiritual approaches to healing, including encyclopedic knowledge of herbs, roots, and other natural medicaments. This detailed knowledge was continually passed down along the lines of apprenticeship from wise women and male herb doctors to gifted young members of the community. Some whites were impressed by the success rate of Negro doctors and doctresses, consulted them, and placed their medication recipes in the family book. And Western doctor faced brisk competition from black herb doctors. In an 1855 journal article, Dr. R.H. Whitfield of Alabama railed against unscientific midwives. It's in the book. It's in the book that your people practice herbology. We're natural born healers. We're meant to heal ourselves through extringents like grapes. H3O2, cantaloupe juice, fresh juice. These are things that I learned from Yaki Awaken. I told you that already. I'm not in the pharmacy. This is my pharmacy. I get a cough, I go get me some berries. A sore throat, I go get me some berries and some hot tea with some mullein. Got that from Yaki. Right? We have to learn how to separate from the pharmaceuticals and the herbs. Alright? Back to, we're doing too much to believe a people that do not have our better interests. Alright? To think that, you guys would think that the people who run media are the people who we are aiding in a war right now. And that is my biggest issue with what's going on right now, is that everybody's going on about their daily lives, and I understand everybody has a life to live. But we have to understand what's going on here today. It's cool that y'all can get in y'all Rolls Royces with your bust downs and do your thing, because I be seeing it, right? I got homies of all different type of statuses. I be seeing it. Oh, support of these people. You have no idea what you're supporting. You're just going on Instagram, just posting stuff. That makes no sense to me. That you wouldn't do research before you posted anything. That sounds a little bit, one, tone deaf, two, ignorant, very ignorant. It's very ignorant that you would post something and not know the history of what's going on. You should always do the research, because you will be led astray. And there's a Malcolm X quote that says something of the terms of, media will have you showing empathy for the oppressor and villainizing the oppressed. And I find that true in this situation. I find that true in our situation here in this land, where a black man, woman, whoever, can get killed by the police, and you guys will say, well, what did he do? What did she do? It doesn't matter. An unarmed black person at that. Then you find out they're unarmed, and then you guys say, well, she was stealing. Who cares? I'm going to be honest with you. Unless we're going back to biblical days where people still, we chop off the hands, but then you got to think we're in stolen land. So there's a lot of hands that have not been chopped off. You're stolen people. But I don't see you talking about chopping nobody's hands off that stole your people and removed you from your land, or took you in your land and made you, put you in bondage. I don't see you wanting to chop those hands off. But as soon as our people are slain in this land, what did they do? Blasphemy. So, because I know I was supposed to be going to the Instagram of this man, Motaz Aziaza. He is a reporter, and he is live in Palestine. And when I seen his page today, and he was posting, he was posting dead kids, deceased kids, kids identifying their parents, parents identifying their kids, right? We have gotten to a point on social media where the only thing that's censored is the truth, right? The hard truth, the truths that I'm talking about, right? But we don't censor the bodies of deceased children. That used to be law, right? So it disturbed me that you guys are rolling around in your Rolls Royces and your bust down chains and all this and that, drinking every weekend. You know, this has been going on for like 3 weeks now. But your routines haven't changed. You're still doing the things that you were doing. It's giving that you're very tone deaf and you're very arrogant. You're arrogant to think that these things could not happen here to you. And some of you have kids, nephews, cousins, etc. that you say that you love dearly. It's not giving woke. It's giving very sheepish, actually. And like I said, it's giving very tone deaf. I think that it's giving very sheepish, because you have to understand the part that your country plays in this, right? It would be different if we separated ourselves from, if our country wasn't in it. I wouldn't even say it would be different, because you should still care. You should still care. I'm going to just briefly touch on Congo, that there's 6 million people who have been killed in Congo for the last couple decades. And nobody's addressed it. 6 million people by a rebel group in a conflict going on in Congo. But it took until now for me to even hear about what's going on in Congo. And I think that I just wanted to brief that real quick so that you can do your research as I continue to do my research on that. All right? But when we go back to what's going on in this land and the parts that we're playing in these wars, and then we say, we ignore that we're even playing a part in the war, right? The only thing that you guys acknowledge that's going on is you guys keep sending money over there. Why do you keep sending money to these people? Right? That's the only part that you're playing, and not realizing the enemies that are growing towards this country that was once the big bullies, that had all the money but is in debt. Trillions of dollars in debt. I don't even know how you're giving out money when you're in debt. That makes no sense to me. To aid wars and genocide, right? You're sending battleships. So now we talk about how you directly play a part in this, and you're acting like, let me go get my liquor this Friday, and let me go turn up and watch the football game this Sunday. When literally the money that you made Monday through Friday, some of it is helping aid this war. The taxes that you pay help aid these wars. This is not your business. How I feel about war is, what's the purpose? Like, what, at some point, like, it's about control, right? And resources, right? It's about thievery, right? We just talked about being thieves. But it's when a black person does it, what did he do? But when you watch these entities do it, you say, oh, that's just the way it is. Our government, the ones we love, who we let oppress us, these governments, this was never a thing. Until they came out of where they came from, the mountains, and said, we got these shiny weapons. We're taking them all down. And everybody surrendered, and is surrendering today. Then when Kanye West says, such and such was a choice, would you not say that you're in the same predicaments today? In bondage? In programming? Because I would say yes. And to say that you're mad at me, I'm mad too. I'm triggered that my people cannot wake up from this hypnosis, and you guys are working as agents. Because you're not working with God, you're working against God. And anytime you're working against God, you are an agent, like the agents that were on the Matrix. And Morpheus says, if they haven't been